What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be upgrading the Axial SCX24 Jeep Wrangler with brass front steering knuckles from Hot Racing. So here I have part number SCX24H, and so this is a brass steering knuckle for the SCX24. So the advantages of adding this brass steering knuckle include adding weight down below to the front end of the truck, so that should keep you from tipping over when you're like that. And it'll add some weight down low to the truck, so it'll prevent, like I said, tipping over. So, these are Hot Racing. Should be a pretty simple install. First thing we're gonna do is gonna remove the body, remove the front wheels, and then we'll open this bad boy up. All right, so the body and the wheels are now off, and here we are at the brass knuckle. Here you can see that I have a spacer. I extended the axles in a previous video. If you haven't seen that one, definitely check out the Jeep playlist or subscribe to the channel because I'm going through this entire Jeep. But anyways, so here's a spacer. It's kind of, it extends the axle, so we extended the axle a couple videos ago. So it's going to be a little bit different compared to a stock install, but it'll be pretty similar. The steps are pretty similar. So now here is the Hot Racing knuckles. So here is, oh crap, here is the steering knuckles. So they add 8 grams each. So each of these is 8 grams. So it's a total of 16 grams we're gonna add onto the front end of the Jeep. And so here are also, I believe these are spacers, I don't know what to call them. They go inside right here. So we're gonna do that. So first things first, I'm gonna remove these hexes. So there's the hex, and then the pin. Don't want to lose the pin or the hex. We're going to move them to our little container over here. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So there we are. Then we're going to grab the spacer, move the spacer, put the spacer on this side. 2 spacers are gone. So now we're going to get our 1.3 hex, a Wera. Check it out, it's links in the description if you want to check it out. Pretty cheap tool, quality, I like it. And so now we're going to undo the steering link. So there's 2 screws on each, or there's 1 screw on each knuckle. So we're going to remove it on the top right here. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Alright, so now the steering link is undid. So next we're going to undo the 2 screws that hold the knuckle to the axle. So there's one up top, there's one down below. So we're going to do that on both sides. So here is the knuckle removed, and when you remove the knuckle you also remove the brass axle. I mean, not the axle, you move the axle. So there they are. Simply just pop out the axle with the bearing, kind of comes out with itself. Do the same thing on this side. So there are our 2 axles with our front bearings. So before we pop in these new axles with these new bearings, we also want to get the bearings out of the brass knuckle on this side. So I'm just going to go through the back side. I'm just going to poke around the edge. Should pop out pretty easily. There's one. And there's 2. So now we have all the bearings out of our knuckles. Just double check they didn't leave anything in here. We didn't. So I'm going to put those to the side. So now we're going to get our front bearings. I'm going to pop them in. There's one. Pop another one. There's 2. Now we're going to get our bearings from the back side. These are a little bit more difficult to put in. So we're going to grab it, place it in there. Try to shimmy it down, it's kind of a little bit difficult. I'm going to grab our other bearing off of our other axle. And put it back there. These ones are a little bit harder to put in. So I'm gonna put our axle in. There you go, we popped it in kind of, you heard the click. So there's what one looks like. Do the left side. Bam, and there we go. So now we have our bearings and our axles in our knuckles, and now we're gonna grab our spacers, I believe. These are spacers, they're very small. And these little spacers go up top right here. So there's one, and there's two. So there we are. So now, I could do the same thing with both sides, but they fall out so easy, so I didn't do it. They already fell out. So when you're looking at them, we have a left and a right, okay? So the difference, how you tell between the two, you want to be able to read the 8 grams when looking at the top of the truck. So when we're looking at the top view of the truck like this, we want to be able to read the 8 grams. So it's normal when I look at it like this, but if I flip it around and put it on the other side, it would be upside down. So that's how you know that this goes on the right hand side. Alrighty. So now that that's out of the way, we're going to grab our knuckle and we're going to line up our slot right here with our drive shaft inside the truck. Should be lined up. We didn't touch it, we didn't move it at all. And we're going to line up our little holes. So this is the hard part. This is where we grab our spacer. We pop it in. Grab our little screw. We have our spacer in. We connected it to the drive shaft on the inside. We screw it on. Just like that. Bam. So now we're gonna move that little spacer on the bottom. Got a great view, and that's a great shot right there. Grab our little screw. We're gonna install it. Bam. Just like that. So there is the right knuckle on the truck. And so these knuckles, you don't want to over tighten them. If you over tighten them, the steering servo won't be able to turn the actual truck. So once you tighten them, hand tighten all the way, you want to do an 1/8 or maybe a half screw back. A half turn back actually. So tight all the way, do a half turn back. Alright. So there's the right knuckle installed, and we're gonna do the same thing on the left. So just to double check that I installed the axle to the shaft, I'm turning on my controller, turning on the truck, and we're just gonna run it. Yep, both axles are spinning, so I know that I connected it correctly. So now I have the okay to put everything back together. Alright. So first things first, we're gonna reconnect the steering link to both of the new knuckles. So there we are. Now we have our steering link connected to our knuckles. So now it's time to put on our spacers. One there. Then we grab our pin. Pop it back into its hole. And then we get our hex. Then we grab our hex hub. Pop that guy on. We're all set there. We're gonna repeat the same exact process on the other side. So if you don't have these axle extenders, you really don't have to worry about this little spacer. And so not really too much of a difference. Just one more added step. Yeah, just an FYI. Okay, so here's just another view of the knuckle installed. So it was pretty simple, not gonna lie. I was avoiding this install. I didn't do it at all in the last build, and I was gonna push it off till the very end on this build, but it was super easy. I was avoiding it because I thought it was gonna be really hard and difficult, but honestly, one of the easiest ones I've ever done. It just shows that as you get more experience with these little trucks, they're becoming easier and easier to work on. So yeah, so now I'm just gonna put together, and we're gonna get this body and these wheels on. definitely you can already feel a weight difference. Those 16 grams really did do a lot of weight to the front. Alrighty, so there we are. We replaced these plastic Axial stock steering knuckles with the Hot Racing brass knuckles, and you can totally already tell. You can feel a little bit of a difference up here in the front. You can totally feel it. So now I just like to turn on the truck, turn it on, turn on my controller, and I just like to steer. We're all good, didn't over tighten anything. That servo's definitely getting some more weight to it. Definitely gonna have to upgrade that soon. And yeah, we're all set. Bam, there is the truck. Let's go outside and see if it looks any different when we're crawling now. See if that weight helped out on inclines. So here we are in the backyard. We're gonna see if these knuckles can actually improve our crawling capabilities. So in the previous video, if you were watching, if you were following along, I was talking about how these scale accessories that I added kind of added too much rear weight to the truck. So it was kind of having some difficulties crawling. So hopefully adding these knuckles up front kind of counterbalance that and let us crawl this little course we got right here. So I am crawling and driving at the same time, so just be easy on me. See if we can make it up there. Not too much. Alright, let's go. And there is the prime example of that rear weight that we're trying to get rid of. No. There we are. That wasn't very scale realistic, but we made it up. Alrighty. So yep, we still got plenty of work to do on this truck. That weight up front kind of did help, but we still got plenty of issues that we need to figure out. Definitely gonna have to get some steel wheels and some tires to upgrade the weight down below. Also gonna look into some more brass, see what we can do, because we are still not even close to crawling. We do look cool as hell though, not gonna lie. But on crawling capabilities, we are not there yet. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one.